So, Miguel, kind of first reaction, first time on Austin City Limits. How'd it feel on the stage out there tonight?
I love that you said first time. I hope there's a. I'd love to come back as many times you guys would have me. Man, this first time playing, honestly, there's an energy that I believe certain venues have and certain stages are just going to carry because of who's been there and what's been poured out on the stage. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to make it too much in my mind and psych myself out, but I will say, man, stepping out on that stage, you could feel it in the wood, even when we were just rehearsing, and going through for sound check and all that. You could feel it in the wood on the floor. There's just something special in that room. So I grew up, listening to the music my parents are playing, essentially, which is pretty much how most people would kind of grow up. The musical taste of my father is really spans a pretty broad range. My father is into classic rock. He loved, Rolling Stones and the Beatles, and he loved Santana, and he loved, Jimi Hendrix. But he also loved, all of the soul greats, the Donny Hathaways and the Temptations, and that's where him and my mother kind of really found a commonality because she loved soul music, and I think her being very religious was kind of biased to anything that kind of went beyond what her moral barometer, dictated. But I think because I had that balance between my father's kind of broad range of taste and my mother's kind of root in soul music, that's kind of where I kind of pull everything. So, the Jimmys, the Bowies, the Prince, obviously Prince and Michael Jackson, huge influences. Freddie Mercury and Queen, it just kind of keeps going, along these lines. The reason why I chose the title War and Leisure because I couldn't think of any more fitting way to describe how life is. Regardless of the time that we live in, I think at any point, any juncture, we're always fighting for what we believe in, or even sometimes to find some bit of inspiration to believe in something, and depending on where we are in our journey, I think it becomes easier and also more challenging in other ways. And so War and Leisure was the best way to kind of encapsulate all of the things that were kind of happening in my life in this time. I created the album in 2017. We were right in the middle of our election. There was a lot going on in the ethos. Like I said while we were performing, we're dealing with a lot of the same issues we've been dealing with for decades, man. And never mind decades, we're talking about centuries, maybe in history. So War and Leisure, I think, is the best way of describing just the journey of life. We're all fighting, in moments and enjoying in moments, and I think this is what makes life interesting and it makes it worth living.
I guess it makes sense that there is a kinetic, sexual, and political energy to this record. It's more than just about politics, more than just about sexual energy as well.
Yeah.
So, and that reflects who you are as a person.
100. I think, sexual energy is a part of human existence. I think that's always going to be a part. Love is always going to be a part. These are things and themes that are timeless because they'll always be there, unless we start like uploading our consciousness to like the cloud or robots and things, which is definitely on the verge in the future if we're thinking about singularity and things like that. But we can go down that whole road at another time. But for all intents and purposes, I think that those energies and also like, we really are at a pivotal time. We have all of the opportunity through technology, through history, to take what we've learned and what we're learning and really advance and elevate our consciousness as a human race. And then we also have at the same time the opportunity or unfortunate ability to take the technology and history and to do the wrong thing and completely wipe our existence from the face of this earth. And we're just in a pivotal kind of, time here. And that's like, again, it's like War and Leisure. I can't think of a better way to express or describe this weird time that we're living in the middle of. So, yeah. I can veer to the extremes. My personality is very extreme. I can be very negative if I go down that rabbit hole, and I can be very positive. And my War and Leisure is finding the balance, And I think the balance of everything is also, again, taking the circumstances and going, okay, this is the problem. We can look at this in a negative way, or we can figure out the solution and be positive and be mindful. And that's what this album is about, is not going too negative down the road, but acknowledging the reality and saying we still have a reason to celebrate, to be positive, to take leisure in our dreams, to take leisure and have a positive perspective in pursuing those things, because in that we can fight against all these negative, energies. Songwriting is such a weird thing for me because I find certain styles fit certain time periods. For some reason, I don't know that a song like How Does It Feel? Once Upon a Time, I don't know if that songwriting style could be more perfect than the time that it was created. It was perfect for that time. The political tension, the cultural awareness, the sexual revolution. There's just a lot of tensions in that time where that style, writing style, people's minds were open to this. Now it's like the Bible says, what was it, John said, I become all things to all people. You almost have to get on people's level to have a conversation with them for them to hear you out. And songwriting for me is a never-ending evolution because I'm always trying to figure out how to talk to people, how to get them to pay attention. So I guess my evolution will be never-ending because I'm always trying to find what's going to be the mode of, the common moment, or what's going to be that commonality that makes people listen and not just hit skip or stream another song or whatever it is, One of, I think, the best things I've learned and that I'm learning is just to key in on your audience, and not to waste your time chasing audiences that aren't yours. As a songwriter, my intention is to communicate with everybody. I want everyone to hear my songs, But the reality of it is that everyone's in their own mindset, in their own reality, and sometimes they're not going to find it on my time. They're going to find it on their time. And so the best way to stay relevant is to find out who you're relevant to and to continue to speak to them. It's just having conversation is like the best way to continue building a relationship. It's like the grass is greener where you water it, And so we continue to just water the grass that that's right in front of me, the ones that want to be there for me. I have a weird opportunity to speak to a lot of people. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Latin music and black music are at the forefront of culture right now. And I happen to be kind of in the place where it meets. And I guess that's kind of what it is, man. Also taking my time to spend time in places where my family is from, to really understand the journey that my family took to get here. It's given me a lot more purpose in communicating with my roots and the people that, know about where I come from. I need a reason to go back. So I got to make music in Spanish so I can go back to Mexico to see my family, to spend time with the people there, to spend time in the place where my family comes from. It's important to me.